Hermes just did a segment on 60 Minutes where they showed their workers in France sewing up the bags.
I am about to crash out. Seriously, I'm crashing out.
Hey guys, it's your girl Cindy. Welcome back again to another video. How are you all doing? I trust you guys are having a good time today. If you are new here, hi, thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So China is exposing luxury and designer bags. Guys, honestly, this side of TikTok is getting hotter and hotter. A lot of people are making videos, especially women, reacting to the fact that those luxury bags they thought were made in France, Italy, actually made in China, according to the viral videos, the Chinese viral videos that we are seeing all over TikTok. I don't know, like this is shocking. Now, this is allegedly because I'm not so sure. I am only reacting to the viral videos, that I'm seeing on TikTok. Guys, I have put together a few videos. Let's just hear what people are saying, because this whole situation, guys, people are shocked. Please stay with me. Let's just see these videos that I've put together. And of course, I'm going to show you some random comments. TikTok is on fire. Check these videos out.
Some say as long as there's a tag saying made in China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China. But those luxury brands just won't acknowledge that. They take almost finished bags from China factories back to their own countries and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that. That way, the bags will appear at their boutiques as made in Italy or made in France. You know, those sophisticated European countries, which make you feel mysterious, royal, and thus luxury. Now, close your eyes. Let's just do a little, very easy experiment in your head, okay? Imagine that you have Hermes bag and suddenly the label on it changed from made in France into made in China, while everything else like leathers, zippers, and hardware remain the same. Do you suddenly feel that your bag is not as luxury as before? If you do, that means you have been misled and poisoned by the market campaign of those luxury brands for too long. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China by our intelligent and diligent Chinese artisans. Let's not be poisoned and misled by the market campaign any longer and be a real person. Buy a bag from our factory in China, see the real world for yourself.
Oh my gosh. Guys, someone said in the comment section that President Donald Trump should have left China alone.
I am about to crash out. Seriously, I'm crashing out. China, they on our ass. Let me tell you something. Y'all see all these damn bags that I have? Okay? These are the bags they're talking about. Like, I have a Birkin, a Fendi, a Louis. I've never even used this bag yet. A Chanel, Louis, Fendi, Chanel, Gucci, Louis. And you're telling me what I have spent on all these bags, I could have went to China and got them and not spent all this money? China, I'm coming. But let me just show you all the bags that I actually really have. Look at this. Jack Moose, Louis, Hermes, Louis, Dior, 3 Chanels, Fendi, YSL, Chanel, Louis, Chanel, Louis, Gucci, Chanel. All of this stuff that I spent my hard-earned money on, all of this, are you freaking telling me that I overpaid for all of this shit? Let me go on Expedia or whatever and find me an airline ticket to China, because I'm coming to see y'all. Look for me. And I also want to add that this Louis wallet, it legit say made in France. Made in France. I am now checking all my shit. China. I'm coming. You've likely now seen the China vendor list exposing specifically where these luxury brands are manufacturing their items before they have them sent off to European countries. And this has gotten everyone, especially a lot of the Americans, excited because now, instead of having to shop at some of these upper end luxury brands, they can essentially skip the middleman and still get similar, if not the exact same quality for a fraction of the price. However, before you make your first order, there's something that you need to note, as I am educating myself on some of these Chinese vendors and how they operate. Vendors that operate within China are no different, meaning that typically vendors tend to ship out in mass bulk. Meaning if you're someone that's just trying to get a new outfit or someone that's trying to, get some staples for their closet, this might not be the way to go, because typically vendors operate in wholesale. They try to send as much as possible because they operate for brands. I also want to be reminding people to check the authenticity as well, because I can imagine how easy it is to be able to jump on the bandwagon right now. So instead, what I would recommend, instead of solely relying on these China vendors, is to download apps like the Yellow app that essentially operates like DHgate, where you will be able to buy singular items in not so much of a bulk. This is probably the best news that we had this year.
If you're seeing all these videos coming up now about the China factories that make all the luxury brands, first of all, there's a few things you should know. You could be getting scammed. All those people are probably not from any factory. They're probably trade companies looking to sell just a couple of bags overpriced to make a lot of money. If they sell you a $3,000 bag that you think should be $38,000, but it's a no brand, they're probably paying $8 to $10 for that same bag. It might be a high quality bag, but don't be fooled by that. And I'm not saying buy or don't buy. What I'm telling you is I'm an experienced buyer. I've been to those factories. I've been to all types of factories, searching and looking and examining. That's my job sometimes. And I have to tell you, there's a lot of scams out there. These trade companies, the ones you see on Alibaba that are selling one pocketbook, they're not making one pocketbook for you. That means these are already pre-made, which means they weren't sold. And if they're not sold, most likely they're not sold because they were either seconds, or they had an issue with them, or they have an overrun by accident, or somebody came to the factory, examined it, and said, this is not the right quality. That's a lot of what you're buying. And the other problem happens all the time in China. Your first container or your first order is perfect. Then you send a lot more money and you get something crappier. You get less quality. It is so common in China. I have a factory, and if I don't watch what motors my managers buy, it could be lower quality than what's supposed to be in those things. And I had a problem with it years ago. Now I have a good team, but it took 17 years to get a good team. And in China, money is very valuable, much more valuable than in the USA. So it's easier for someone to take a bribe for $50 and sell your engineering and your drawings, because $50 is a lot of money. It goes a long way in China. It doesn't go a long way in America, but it does in China. Good luck to you. Be careful. If you're not paying with the credit card, which is almost impossible to do, you're probably not going to get the same quality the second time around if you got lucky the first time around. But be aware, it's probably not from that company you think it is. They don't have the time to sell you one pocketbook, even though they have 70 people sitting in a room, all just looking on the internet, trying to find buyers or responding. Be careful. And when they direct you away from that website and they direct you to WhatsApp or WeChat, sometimes that's for your benefit so they can communicate. Sometimes now you're off the program, you got no protection. Good luck.
Okay, let's address the Chinese TikTok viral videos, shall we? So first things first, absolutely can see everybody's glee in believing that Hermes is produced in China. And yes, some bags that look like Hermes are produced in China. And when I say look like, I mean these people are creating the fakes. The factories that the guy stood in front of and all the stock that he stood in front of is clearly fake. And anybody who knows anything about Hermes can see that the bags are fake. People who don't know about the brand obviously are going to believe what's being said. However, he's very vague in what he says. He's talking about the production of making a bag that looks like an Hermes bag. He's not saying it is an Hermes bag, because he knows, as well as everybody else does who knows about Hermes, that Hermes is made in France, and they have between different articles say different things, but 19 and 56 factories across 11 locations in France. They even have training facilities in Australia and in a couple of other places in the world. So although China is now fighting back, as they should, why should they not? Let's not forget that there are some amazing products that come out of China. There are absolutely amazing products that come out of China, and the stigma that's always been attached to, oh, I hope it's not Chinese, is actually really disgusting, because they are at the forefront of production. And why should they be, looked down on because they know how to produce things efficiently? They shouldn't. Some of the products that come out of China are absolutely amazing. However, they are not Hermes bags. And whilst he's talking about some high-end luxury brands produce their products in China, it gets shipped to Europe, and then the stamps are put on them, he doesn't mention Hermes. He actually doesn't mention any brands. He says brands like. So he's not saying, this is where it's so important to know the English language, the nuances of the English language, and to understand it fully, because English was my forte. And I pick up on the tiniest little detail that other people miss out on. So all it takes is for him to say one word for him not to get sued.
So according to an interview given to Vogue, all Hermes Birkins are made in France, in a small little factory where only 12 artisans work. Yeah, right. All the Birkins in all of the stores worldwide are coming from one place with 12 workers? There's no way. Luxury houses have been hiding their exploitation of cheap labor for years. In the US, Louis Vuitton manufacturing pays $18 an hour, which is why their rate of wasted product is over 40%. And it's not stable, it's climbing, and both Louis Vuitton and Hermes have been accused of poor labor practices in France. There's articles everywhere about it. Design houses have been using shadow labor in Asia for years. I'm glad they're getting called out on it. I'm just here because I want the tip and the contact information for restoration hardware. That's it. Screw the handbags. I don't want any.
I'm here to tell you that this whole thing with China exposing luxury brands, Lululemon, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, all of these brands, is real. My parents worked in import-export my whole life. Over 30 years they have been in this. Before Alibaba was a thing, my parents were the middleman. American companies will come to them and say, hey, we want these things made in China, and my parents will go actually to China and source the goods and find the factories to make whatever product it might be. Products get shipped back to the US, they slap a label on it, they sell it at, major retail stores. I have known this, that luxury brands are made in the same factory as knockoff brands. When I was in college, I had a pair of UGG boots that just didn't have the UGG tag on it, because my parents went to the factory and they were sourcing for a shoe company. And they said, hey, we're going to send you this pair. It was literally $5. You love Uggs. It doesn't have the logo, but it's the same quality from the same factory. I have known this for basically my whole life. And the fact that this is just now coming out is hilarious to me. Just because it's made in China doesn't mean it's garbage. Just because it's made in Italy doesn't mean it's amazing. And most of the time it's not. So beware of what you're buying and don't just always buy designer things. That is all.
Hermes just did a segment on 60 Minutes where they showed their workers in France sewing up the bags. But all those bags were actually already finished. And that's exactly what China told us on this app. That they do all of the bags in China and then they send them to France and then they finish them in France. So this stupid move, trying to shut down the China rumors by Hermes, was actually proving the China rumors. And it really shows you that all of that designer brand crap is just that. It's cheap Chinese crap.
So everybody really just finding out that China do all the luxury brands? You see these right here? Y'all thought I would pay a retail prices for these? Resale prices for these? No. These $2,000 a piece. I got them for $50. 50 ball, each one. 100 for the pair, another 100 for the shipping. What you talking about? See this sweatshirt right here? The Fear of God, Negro League mainline. Retail price, $600. I got it for $35. What you mean? Me and my Chinese spot been locked in. I done play basketball full court on concrete in the gym. In these. Nigga, I done walked all in sneaker stores where they do all these checks and all that shit. Niggas ain't questioned me not one time. Niggas seen them bitches, gave it a nod. They were like, yeah, I fucked them. They fired. One nigga offered to buy these off my feet. I told him, nah, big bro, these ain't for sale. I ain't finna do them like that. But if he asked me where I got them from, I'm gonna say, hey man, I know a guy. I'll let you check these out. I know a guy. If you fuck with the quality, if you want them, I'll send you the link. Tell him I sent you.
China's exposed the luxury market. I can't believe it. China this, China that. Excuse me. Common sense coming through. What exactly do they expose? That brands have to charge more than the cost of a product in order to make a profit? I'm sorry, is that scandalous or is that just basic business? Okay, so some random factories in China have come online and they're making all these claims against luxury brands. Now guys, unless you've seen official documentation, which you haven't, you have no clue whether these factories are actually contracted by these brands or if they're just very skilled at copying designs. And considering what we already know about the replica market in China, I would lean towards the latter being true. I can almost bet a lot of money that these guys are just literally one of 500 different factories that are just very good at replicating like designer bags. They do it all the time. And they're lying to you and say, no, we're the actual factories they use and we can give you the exact same thing. I really don't think so. I believe what you're getting is a replica. And that's fine if that's what you want, but at least know what you're getting yourself into. Especially before you start trying to shame or brag to the girls who can afford the real thing that I've got it too and you paid more than me and I got the exact same bag as you. You don't. I see a lot of people actually really shocked to find out that luxury goods have a very high markup. But again, that's just basic business. Luxury brands charge what they charge because they can. When you're shopping luxury, you're not just paying for the materials. You're paying for flagship stores in the most expensive cities in the world, global campaigns, celebrity endorsements, amazing creative directors, top designers. And above all of that, what you're really paying for is what the brand represents. They're not selling you a product, they're selling you a lifestyle. The ability to belong to an exclusive elite club where you can silently signal your status and basically show everyone, look how well I'm doing. All of that comes at a premium that people are willing to pay. And those that can't afford to do so still desperately want what that brand represents, that they're going to still try and get themselves involved by going down the fake route. For example, guys, we all know if you go down to Tesco, you can buy a bottle of Moet for £40. However, if you now find yourself in a bougie London club, they're going to look you dead in the eyes and say, yeah, that's now £500. And people are going to pay it. Why? Because they're not buying a bottle of champagne. They're buying how people are going to perceive them in that club. And the better a brand has created this lifestyle, which usually takes decades, by the way, the higher the markup they can charge. Now, if that doesn't sit right with you, there are hundreds of incredible brands that sell beautiful bags, high quality, at a fraction of the cost. Now, I'm not trying to tell people what to do, but you really do not need to participate in IP theft, risk your money, or to participate in a marketplace that you cannot afford or you don't agree with. There is absolutely nothing wrong with caring about how you're perceived or wanting to look expensive. Like, who are the people that want to walk around looking poor and dusty? Like, obviously not. But the point I'm trying to make is that you do not need to do that using logos. You can look classy, expensive, put together without it. Just saying. Bye.
Guys, on your screen are some of the screenshots of comments I grabbed randomly so you guys can see, other people's opinion. This is totally insane. Apparently, from the comments that I read, people are asking how they can buy directly from China. But I do not think they are going to sell like single products. They would sell, in wholesale. But then again, people are searching for information on how to go about it. Some people are saying that they are going to, travel to China to buy stuff because the price of those bags in China compared to what they are selling online, or this brand, it is totally insane. And now some people are saying that President Donald Trump is regretting the trade war with China. I can't. I thought to make this video, to show your, what people are saying, their reactions. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. What do you have to say? Are you traveling to China to buy your own bags, wristwatches and all of that? Let me know in the comment, guys. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share, comment, and of course, come back for another one. I'm going to see you all in my next video. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.